Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. It's Tuesday after Memorial Day weekend. Hope everyone had a great long weekend. I know I did. And so now it's back to reality. So let's jump in and talk about what happened today. So today, some more progress on the 71 Ghia. So the rear panels went in, both of them, and we used the original trim strips off the original panels that were actually in pretty good shape, so we just transferred those over to the new TMI panels. We still need to do the same for the two doors, but those we can't put those on yet because we have to do final adjustment of the windows once the pop outs are in and everything's adjusted. It all kind of has to almost like go in together, and the last thing would be to put on those panels once everything's adjusted. We were going to actually install the pop outs today, but Ghia Parts and Restoration accidentally sent us the wrong seals for those, so I've got the new ones coming. I'm hoping they'll be here tomorrow. If not, then we'll install them some other time. So a little frustrating, slowed us down, but it was an honest mistake on their part, so no big deal. And let's see. Oh, also the sill plates went back on today. So yeah, the interior of this thing's really starting to look killer here. Wait till we get the seats back in it and the door panels. It's really looking good. So I did not do much to this one personally today. I did go and buy a battery for it though, finally. And I did receive the proper length cable from Ghia Parts and Restoration, so it kind of goes through the firewall over here and then basically runs over the bell housing of the motor and then connects to the starter, which is back there. And then at the same time I bought the battery from AutoZone. I bought a cable that you can see there to use as the ground. On those, on Ghias, what we do is we connect them. I don't know if you'll even be able to see this. We connect them at the back of the case. I don't know whether you'll be able to even see this if you look carefully back there. Yeah, you can see it right there. So we connect that at the back of the case. Kind of a clean installation. I think on the cars they actually connect it up here somewhere as ugly. We never do it that way, even though technically speaking it's correct. We like to kind of tuck them back behind the motor and have it much more clean looking that way. So I did run those two cables. I ran and connected the wire from the main harness, which actually on these runs to under the back seat and then to the starter underneath the car. Kind of different than on a Beetle. But anyway, yeah, just connected those few things. So not a lot that I did today, but Rafa again made some pretty good progress getting those door panels and sill plates in. He put some more of this together today, what he was able to with the parts that he had. So moving right along. So the other thing that I did today, which is where the thumbnail for this video comes from, is I talked to the owner of this bus. And for those of you that are regulars here, you might remember me mentioning recently that we tried to put in some of the Skylight windows on here and they just were not going. And the openings are just too tight. So I can show you here. So let me back up a little bit. So this bus here is a bus that we were in charge of the metal work and the body work and stuff. So we approved this bus before it got painted. So we checked to make sure that these openings were open enough and so on that windows would go in. Some of the other metal work on this bus we didn't have much to do with, which is why some of it's a disaster, but that's kind of another story. But on this one, the bus came in painted and we didn't have any say on it, or we weren't able to do any checking. So sometimes things like this happen where the lip on this Skylight opening is just too fat. So you can see here where I've marked it with a Sharpie, that's about how much we need to take off. And that'll focus. Yeah, so that's about what needs to be taken off. So far I've done the front three windows on this side. It's just one of those things you got to kind of go slow, take your time. This is a painted bus. It's got headliner in it, and you know, you're grinding this and metal's flying everywhere. So actually, as I was grinding these, I had it sort of masked off from the inside with paper and tape, so that whatever metal and paint would go through would kind of get caught in there, and then vacuum that up and then remove the masking paper. Seemed to work okay, keeping it relatively clean. But yeah, so these 3 here I did already, and then I still have to do this one and then the other 4 on the other side. And this is the tool that I'm using, thanks to our neighbor Leo, who's loaning this. This is basically like a handheld belt sander. This thing works awesome for that. It's air powered, and it gives you a lot of control. And yeah, it's less scary than using like a rotary file. Those things tend to grab and shoot off in kind of, you know, unpredictable ways sometimes. This thing doesn't so much do that because, again, it's sanding. It's not really cutting like a grinding bit or something would, or like a rotary file would. So a little bit more predictable, probably slower, but I think it's actually coming out pretty good. Pretty happy with the ones I've done so far. So you can see I've got that lip there pretty thin now. You can actually kind of see here where the upholstery is. That's how far the lip was going before. So you can kind of get an idea how much I cut it down by looking at that lip, or excuse me, by looking at the upholstery. So yeah, I think these are going to go in pretty nice now. So yeah, just one of those things, pain in the butt, no fun, but has to be done to get the Skylight windows in this car. So that is pretty much what happened around here today. So I'm gonna sign off for now, and we'll see you guys. Oh, actually, one last thing. The beige 57, as you probably all noticed, is gone. Owner came and got it today. So hopefully he's getting a lot of enjoyment out of it already. Super nice car. And so congratulations to him on getting his baby back. Okay, so now for real, that's it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching.